Hello everyone. Today's lecture I will be discussing about catchment and flood estimation. Let us see first what is catchment and then classification of catchment. Catchment is a portion of the earth's surface that collects runoff and concentrates it at its furthest downstream point, referred as the catchment outlet. The runoff concentrated by a catchment flows either into a larger catchment or into the ocean. The place where a stream enters a larger stream or body of water is referred to as the mouth. The terms watershed and basin are commonly used to refer catchments. Generally, watershed is used to describe a small catchment, stream watershed, whereas basin is reserved for larger catchments, that is called river basins. So this is a picture of a catchment of river A at station M. You can see this is the catchment. Okay, this is the flow of river. This is the river, and this is totally it is called as a watershed. This is the station and these are the tributaries. The area of land draining into a stream or a water course at a given location is known as catchment area. It is also called as drainage area or drainage basin or watershed. All are same. Drainage area, drainage basin, watershed, catchment area, everything it is same. It is nothing but the area of land draining into a stream or a water course at a given location. Next, let us see there are two types of catchments, fan-shaped catchment and fern leaf catchment. Then let us see first what is fan-shaped catchment. This is a fan-shaped catchment. Okay, the watershed and the main stream. All the tributaries are approximately of the same size in this type, gives greater runoff because the peak flood from the tributaries is likely to reach the mainstream approximately at the same time. This is about fan-shaped catchment. And second one is fern leaf catchment. This is the fern leaf catchment. The tributaries are generally of different lengths and meet the main stream at the regular intervals. And such a narrow catchments, the peak flood intensity is reduced since discharges are likely to be distributed over a long period of time. This is about fern leaf catchment. Next, let us discuss about flood estimation. A flood is a relatively high flow that overtops the natural or artificial banks in any reach of a system. Floodplain is desirable location for human livelihood and its activities. It is important that floods be controlled so that damage does not exceed an acceptable amount. Design of water resources structures like spillways, diversion wall, bridges, culvert, etc. often require the design at a certain location in order to estimate the size and cost of the structure. So, a picture of floods. Need for flood estimation. These are some of the flood causing mechanism. Extratropical cyclones, tropical cyclones, major snow melt, fronts, short waves, thunderstorms, snow melt, convection, larger cumulus, small cumulus. These are all the some of the flood causing mechanism. Okay, what is the need for flood estimation? To design the water resource structure such as dams, spillways, diversion works, bridges, etc. You should know the flood. Estimation of the flood is important to determine the maximum discharge and the maximum potential, and also to estimate the cost and size of the structure. These are some of the needs of flood estimation. There are different types of floods: aerial flood, riverine flood, coastal flood, and urban flooding. Then methods of flood estimation. There are different methods to find or estimate the flood. That is empirical method, watershed models, unit hydrograph, fractional method, and flood frequency analysis, etc. Let us say in detail one by one. The first one is empirical methods. It should be employed only when there is insufficient available hydrological information for performing the detailed and precise analysis. The various empirical formulae commonly used in India are Dickens formula, Wright's formula, and modified regional flood formulae. So these are the three empirical methods used to estimate the flood. First one, the Dickens formula. Here in 1885, Dickens made the first attempt in India to derive a general formula for determining the maximum flood on the basis of studies conducted for determining the relation between discharge rate to the drainage area. That is given by Q is equal to C into A to the power 3 divided by 4, where Q is the peak flow rate, a capital Q, and C is regression constant, and A is area of the drainage. Okay, so based on this, this is the empirical formula derived by Dickens, and based on his studies, he derived the equation, that is Q is equal to CA raised to the power 3 divided by 4. Next one is Wright's formula. Wright's formula is to suit South Indian conditions for areas within 25 km from the coast, between 25 to 175 km from the coast, and for limited areas near the hill. It is given by like this: Q is equal to C into A into raised to the power 2 by 3. Now you can see the difference between the Dickens and Rice formula. His formula is Q is equal to CA raised to the power 3 divided by 4, 3 by 4. But Wright's formula, it is Q is equal to CA raised to power 2 by 3. The value of constant varies widely, being 6.8 in flat tracts along the coast and about 42.4 in the Western Ghat region. So this constant regression constant, that is 6.8 for flat areas and along the coast, and about 42.4 in the Western Ghat region. Third one is modified regional flood formula. Here, that Kumar in 1999 developed a methodology which modified the form of empirical formula. QP is equal to CT A raised to power B, where CT is the regional parameters. Okay, this is a constant, and QT is flood of T year return period, and catchment area is catchment area, and B is to be estimated for region using regression. Okay, so here also there is a modified little bit. Other two formulas are Q is equal to CA 3 raised to 4, and one is Q is equal to CA 2 raised to 2 divided by 3. But here in this case, QT is equal to CT into A to the power B raised to the power B, where C is regional parameter, that is constant, Q is a flood estimation discharge for T years return period, and A is the catchment area, and B is again to be estimated for region using regression equation. These are all about empirical formula. The second one is about rational method. Here it is most widely used for the analysis of runoff response from small catchment. This method takes into account the following hydrological characteristics or processes. That is the rainfall intensity, rainfall duration, rainfall frequency, catchment area, hydrological abstractions, runoff concentration, runoff diffusion. Based on this method is based on this criteria, the flood will be estimated. The requirement of the rational method is that the catchment is small, and following steps are involved in this method. The first one is determine the time of concentration, then obtain the rainfall intensity for the desired duration and frequency from the appropriate intensity duration frequency curve, and then third one is runoff coefficient depends on the condition. Finally, you have to use this formula QP is equal to C into I into E. Okay, here mainly you have to find the time of concentration, then obtain the rainfall intensity for the desired duration and frequency. Then there is a curve. I think I have not shown here. No. Okay, so there is one curve that is between intensity and duration. So once if you have the intensity and the duration, directly you will get the rainfall intensity for that particular duration and frequency. Okay, runoff coefficient, that is depending on the condition. So if you use this formula, you will get the what is the discharge. Nothing but flood, estimation of flood. Then flood frequency analysis. This is the another method. Flood frequency denotes the likelihood of flood being equaled or exceeded. The return period TR for all the floods Q1, Q2 are calculated. The curve between Q versus TR is plotted. And the curve can be used to determine the return period for the corresponding magnitude of flood. Here this is the curve, the flood versus return period for the 25 years, for 50 years, 75 years, 100 years. So if you have some data of flood in other years, you have to draw the curve like this. Based on this, for the particular year, you can estimate what is the flood during that time. Plot of flood Q against return period for probability of P. Next one is unit hydrograph method. This is the very popular method. Unit hydrograph is defined as the hydrograph of surface runoff of a catchment area resulting from unit depth of rainfall excess. Unit hydrograph is a linear model of the catchment. Assumptions in unit hydrograph method are: the first one is rainfall is of uniform intensity within its specified duration. The second one is the effective rainfall is uniformly distributed throughout the area of the drainage basin. Another method is the watershed models. With the advent of high-speed digital computers, watershed models has been developed by many investigators. Some interactive software packages have been developed by National Institute of Hydrology for unit hydrograph derivation and flood estimation. So these are some of the software that can also be used to estimate the flood. The first one is UHPACKI, that is nothing but unit hydrograph applications for flood estimation package, and also FLPACK, that is flood estimation for larger catchments, and SRA, that is software for reservoir analysis. Okay, so this is about the flood estimation. So next class I will be discussing about only on unit hydrograph. That is very important chapter. I hope all of you understood. Thank you.